we start with our sports lead. President Trump finally has his Peace Prize. No, not the Nobel Peace Prize, which is the world's most prestigious, and one that President Trump has long coveted. This one is the FIFA Peace Prize.
Mr. President, this is your prize. This is your Peace Prize. There is also a beautiful medal for you that you can wear everywhere you want to go.
Now, if the FIFA Peace Prize doesn't ring a bell for you, it's probably because it is a brand new award. It was announced last month by FIFA, which is the global governing body for soccer. You've heard of it because it's been plagued by scandal and corruption allegations in the last decade. This year's awardee, the president, is someone whom FIFA says has taken, quote, exceptional and extraordinary actions for peace, and by doing so have united people around the world, unquote. How the winner's chosen, however, is not clear, but FIFA President Gianni Infantino, who presented President Trump the award, happens to be a good friend of the president's, and all of this leads many to believe that the award was basically created for President Trump, given his fixation on someday winning a Nobel Peace Prize. Nonetheless, here is President Trump today accepting his award at the Kennedy Center, the site of today's World Cup draw event.
Thank you very much. This is truly one of the great honors of my life. And beyond awards, Johnny and I were discussing this. We saved millions and millions of lives. The Congo, as an example, over 10 million people killed, and it was heading for another 10 million very quickly. And it just, you know, the fact that we could do that, India, Pakistan, so many different wars that we're able to end.
To close out the event, President Trump's favorite people, that is the village people, performed the song YMCA, and the president could not contain his excitement. He did a little peace dance of his own, Trump style. We should note, before President Trump got the award, he declined to answer a question from CNN's Caitlin Collins about whether receiving the award would conflict in any way with his vow to strike on land soon in Venezuela. CNN's Kristen Holmes is at the White House for us. CNN's Don Riddell is outside the Kennedy Center, site of today's FIFA World Cup draw. Don, walk us through the spectacle of everything you saw there today. What was said about this new award itself?
Well, Jake, it was quite a spectacle. The draw was quite drawn out because of the events leading up to the reason we were all here, to be honest, which was to find out who's going to be playing who in the World Cup tournament next year. As soon as Infantino, the FIFA president, announced that there was going to be a Peace Prize, I think everybody knew who was going to win it, especially given the fact that Infantino and Trump have become so close this year. Infantino has been seen in the White House half a dozen times. He accompanied Trump to Egypt for the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas, and Infantino was lobbying and campaigning for Trump to win the Nobel Peace Prize. And when he didn't, literally just a few weeks later was when it was revealed that FIFA would be creating a prize of their own. So it really was absolutely no surprise that this was handed over to Donald Trump. And of course, he was in good company here. Trump felt very comfortable on the stage alongside Infantino and also alongside the Canadian Prime Minister and the Mexican President, who he has been at loggerheads with this year with the tariffs which have been levied against the tournament co-hosts, but also former allies and trading partners, and he referred to them as friends. Of course, no mention of Venezuela, no mention of bombing the drug cartels in Mexico. This was a day where Donald Trump was made to feel really good.
And Kristen, President Trump literally set the stage for this given his recent takeover of the Kennedy Center, so this had to be quite a banner day for him. How is he taking this all in?
It couldn't have been a better day for President Trump. I mean, he did all of the things that he loves to do. He walked on a red carpet. He had cameras pointed at him. He stood on a stage. He received a Peace Prize. And really, when he received that prize, he received it the same way he would if it was though it would have been a Nobel Peace Prize, saying it's not about the prize. It's about all of the work that we're doing, in these various countries. And then he went on to hear the YMCA by one of his favorite bands, one of his favorite songs that we see him dance to for the last 5 years. So I do want to emphasize something that we just heard from Don, which is this relationship with Infantino, because Infantino, this is a mutual relationship. We have seen this head of FIFA almost everywhere in places that it's shocking to actually see him. He has been by President Trump's side, but there is a mutually beneficial part of this for Infantino, which is he needs this event to go well. They need a lot from the United States government and from the president himself. I mean, take into account just the fact that there's now a FIFA Pass, which is expedited visas for people coming from other countries at a time when we're seeing an intense crackdown on immigration. Anyone who wants to come watch the World Cup is getting an expedited visa. I mean, this is, again, a two-way street here when it comes to this event. But when it comes to President Trump, there was nothing that wasn't perfect about this event for the president.
All right, Don Riddell and Kristen Holmes, thanks so much. Let's discuss with Franklin Foer, staff writer for The Atlantic magazine. He's also author of How Soccer Explains the World, an unlikely theory of globalization. Frank, good to see you. Help us understand why FIFA would conceive of an award to recognize contributions to global peace. Has FIFA ever done anything along these lines before?
No, FIFA has done a lot of murky things in the past. They've cozied up to strongmen throughout their history. Mussolini hosted one of the first World Cups in 2018. Infantino was palling around with Vladimir Putin as Russia hosted the World Cup. The World Cup tends to go to strongmen who like to put on spectacles of this sort because it reinforces their global legitimacy. It's a form of soft power. And strongmen just tend to enjoy these types of global spectacles. But it should be said that Infantino didn't suck up to Joe Biden in this sort of way. He had a pretty tepid relationship with him, which stands in stark contrast to everything that we've just heard about his relationship to Donald Trump, that he bought office or FIFA has rented office space from Trump Tower in New York, that there is a replica of the World Cup trophy that Trump asked for, and that Infantino allowed him to keep, and it sits in the Oval Office, that there is this symbiotic relationship that the two of them have achieved. And there are the ostensible reasons for this, which is that Trump, with his capriciousness, could blow up this World Cup, that there are all sorts of ways that he could make life difficult for this. And I think anybody who runs FIFA would be probably wise to politic in that regard. But on the other hand, it does seem like the depth of this relationship, the kind of the degree of flattery that was on display today, is something quite out of the ordinary.
You've argued that soccer is not just a game, it's a powerful cultural force. It reflects economics, societal tensions, and more. You say it's sort of a window into the modern world. So in this case, what does FIFA's creation of a peace prize say about the world?
Well, I mean, I think one of the things that's been true about FIFA in the modern era is that it is a murky organization where billions of dollars flow through it. That in selling the television rights to these games, in just amassing the massive amount of revenue. There's no more money on the table in a World Cup than will be there in this summer. The pricing for tickets is dynamic. The pricing for parking tickets for parking places in New Jersey run $175 a pop, and FIFA is going to collect all of that money tax free. So the scale of this venture is enormous. The United States is kind of one of the last remaining global markets that soccer has yet to fully conquer. It's made a lot of progress here, but this is a massive opportunity for the global game itself, and which will present massive opportunities for revenue for FIFA moving forward. So to have them kind of display this obsequiousness to Donald Trump is an investment in their own bottom line.
President Trump certainly seemed to be very moved by receiving this Peace Prize from FIFA. It's a brand new award. Do you think that the FIFA Peace Prize will ultimately be regarded as prestigious and coveted?
I don't think it'll be. I'm sure there will be people who are vain enough to covet the FIFA Peace Prize, but it's a concoction. It's a confection. It was a device that was created on the fly in order to appeal to this president's vanity. I've read reporting in The Guardian that moving forward, there's kind of a strong man a corrupt guy who was a crony of the Myanmar regime, who's part of the selection process for this moving forward. But nobody knows exactly what the qualifications are for this prize. And nobody's exactly sure the process that led FIFA to bestow this on Donald Trump in the first place. So I'm sure the world is filled with people who covet big pieces, a big trophy is like the one we're watching on the screen right now, and all of the attention that comes with it, receiving it on the stage where all eyes of the world are watching to see who's going to play who in the World Cup. It's an opportunity to seize the entire planet's attention.
All right, Frank Four, appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.